Welcome to my channel, Unleash Your English. I am Thomas, and today we are going to do something calm, powerful, and very important before you sleep. If your mind always translates English into your own language before you speak, this lesson is for you. Tonight, I will show you how to relax your English mind, see meaning directly, build tiny night sentences, and slowly stop translating every word. Stay with me until the end, because Step 4 will give you simple bedtime sentences, and Step 6 will give you a complete night routine you can use every day. Subscribe to Unleash Your English, because here we learn English slowly, peacefully, and with real confidence. Tonight you will not fight English. You will let English rest softly in your mind. Step 1. Calm your translation habit. Before we begin tonight's English practice, I want you to relax your mind for a moment and understand one very important thing. If you translate English in your mind, it does not mean you are weak. It does not mean you are slow. It does not mean your brain is bad at English. It simply means your mind is using the safest road it already knows. Your first language is like your old home. You have lived there for many years. You understand it without effort. You feel it without thinking. You can express pain, happiness, anger, fear, love, and every small feeling through it. So when English comes into your mind, your brain naturally runs back to that old home and says, "Let me check the meaning there first. This is normal. This is human. This is how many learners begin." But tonight, we are not here to blame your mind. We are here to train it gently. We are here to help your brain feel safe with English, so it does not need to translate every word before understanding. Maybe this happens to you every day. You hear a simple English sentence, and instead of feeling the meaning directly, your mind immediately starts working too hard. First, you hear the English, then your mind changes it into your own language. Then you understand it. Then you think of your answer in your own language. Then you try to change that answer back into English. Then you worry about grammar. Then you worry about pronunciation. Then you think, is this sentence correct? And by the time you are ready to speak, the moment is gone. The other person has already moved on. Or maybe you stay silent because your brain feels too full. This is the real pain of translation. Translation itself is not bad. Translation can help you in the beginning. But when your mind uses translation for every small word, every small sentence, and every small answer, English becomes heavy. Speaking becomes slow. Listening becomes stressful. Confidence becomes weak. You feel like English is always standing far away from you. Tonight, we will not fight this habit with pressure. We will calm it. That is why this step is called Calm Your Translation Habit. You do not stop translating by shouting at your brain. You do not stop translating by saying, "I must think in English now," with fear in your heart. That only creates more pressure. And when there is more pressure, your brain wants more safety. Then it runs back to your first language even faster. The better way is softer and smarter. You slowly show your mind that English can also feel safe. You give your brain very simple English. You give it peaceful English. You give it sentences that are easy enough to understand without running to translation. This is how the new road begins. Not with force, not with panic, not with shame. It begins with calm practice. There is a simple science behind this. Your mind has something called working memory. Working memory is like a small table inside your brain. When you are learning English, you put many things on that table. You put the English word, you put the meaning, you put grammar, you put pronunciation, you put your fear of mistakes, you put the other person's face, you put the pressure to answer quickly. Now imagine that you also put translation on that small table. You hear English, translate it, understand it, create an answer, translate it back, check it, and then speak. That is too much weight for one small table. This is why your mind becomes tired. This is why you forget simple words. This is why you know the answer later, but not at the moment you need it. Your English is not missing. Your brain is overloaded. So the first goal is not to learn difficult words tonight. The first goal is to reduce the load. We want to make English lighter inside your mind. Before sleep, this idea becomes even more important. At night, your body is tired. Your eyes are tired. Your thoughts are softer. This is not the best time to force difficult grammar or heavy study. This is the best time to give your mind gentle English that it can receive without fear. Think of it like giving your brain a soft blanket. You are not pushing English into your head. You are letting English sit beside you. You are letting English become familiar. Your brain does not need a hard lesson right now. It needs a calm signal. It needs to feel English is not danger. English is not a test. English is not a punishment. English is something I can hear, feel, and slowly understand. When your brain receives English in this peaceful state, the habit of translation slowly becomes weaker because the mind does not feel attacked. Many learners make one mistake. They think stopping translation means they must suddenly think perfectly in English. But that is not true. You do not need perfect English thoughts tonight. You only need direct English moments. A direct English moment means you hear or think a simple English sentence, and you allow the meaning to come without checking every word in your own language. For example, if you say, "I am tired," do not translate it. Just feel your tired body. If you say, "I am in my room," do not translate it. Just notice your room. If you say, "I want to sleep," do not translate it. Just feel that quiet desire to rest. This is the beginning of thinking in English. It is not complicated. It is not advanced. It is very simple. It is very real. And because it is real, your brain can accept it. I want you to also understand the emotional side of this habit. Many learners translate because they are afraid of making mistakes. They want to be correct before they speak. They want to be safe before they try. They think, if I translate first, maybe I can control the sentence. But real speaking does not work like that. Real speaking needs flow. Real speaking needs trust. Real speaking needs you to allow simple English to come out, even if it is not perfect. Before sleep, we can build this trust quietly. We can tell the mind, you do not need to protect me all the time. You do not need to check every word. You can let me understand small English sentences directly. This is not only English practice. This is confidence practice. This is mental training. This is teaching your brain a new feeling. So tonight, Do not say, "Why do I always translate?" Say, "My brain is trying to help me, but now I will teach it a better way." This one sentence changes everything. It removes shame. It removes anger. It removes the feeling that you are behind everyone else. You are not behind. You are in training. Every fluent speaker had a beginning. Every confident speaker had a time when words felt slow. Every learner had a moment when the mind searched for safety. The difference is that some people keep translating forever, and some people gently train their brain to move toward meaning. Tonight, you are choosing the second path. You are choosing the calm path. You are choosing the direct path. Now, as you listen, I want you to imagine your first language as an old road and English as a new road. The old road is wide because you have walked on it for many years. The English road is still narrow because you have not walked on it enough. But every time you understand one small English sentence without translation, you take one step on that new road. Every time you say, "I am calm," and you feel calm instead of translating, you make that road stronger. Every time you hear "the room is quiet," and you imagine the quiet room, you make that road clearer. And one day, after many small steps, your brain will not always run to the old road first. It will begin to use the English road naturally. This is why our first step is not about speaking fast. It is not about memorizing big words. It is not about perfect grammar. It is about calming the translation habit and creating safety with English. When English feels safe, your mind opens. When your mind opens, listening becomes easier. When listening becomes easier, speaking becomes more natural. And when speaking becomes more natural, confidence grows without force. This is the real foundation of fluency. Fluency is not only speed. Fluency is comfort. Fluency is when English no longer feels like a stranger standing outside your door. It starts to feel like a quiet friend sitting in your room. So before we move to the next step, remember this deeply. You are not trying to destroy your first language. Your first language is beautiful. It helped you become who you are. But now, you are giving English its own space in your mind. You are not using English as a copy of your language. You are slowly learning to feel English as English. This is where real change begins. And in the next step, we will go even deeper. We will prepare your mind for sleep-friendly English, so your brain can relax, receive, and remember English without fear. Stay with me, because when your mind becomes calm, English starts entering more naturally than you think. Step 2. Relax the English mind. Now that you understand why your mind translates, we need to do something very important before we practice more English tonight. We need to relax the English mind. This may sound simple, but it is one of the deepest secrets of learning a language. Many learners try to learn English with a tight mind. They listen with fear, they speak with pressure, they read with stress. They think, "I must understand everything, I must remember every word, I must not make mistakes, I must become fluent quickly." But when your mind is full of pressure, English becomes heavier. The brain does not feel free, it does not feel open, it starts protecting itself. And one way the brain protects itself is by translating everything back into the first language. So before we stop translating, we must first calm the system that creates the need for translation. We must tell the brain, you are safe. This is not a test. This is not a race. This is only English before sleep. At night, your mind needs a different kind of English. During the day, you may study grammar. You may watch lessons. You may write notes. You may try to speak with someone. That is good. That is useful. But before sleep, the goal is different. The goal is not to push your brain. The goal is to give your brain soft English that it can accept without fear. Think of English before sleep like warm water for the mind. It should not be sharp. It should not be noisy. It should not make you feel behind. It should slowly wash away the stress of the day and leave simple English thoughts inside you. When English comes with peace, your brain stops treating it like danger. It starts treating it like something familiar. And familiarity is one of the strongest keys to fluency. The more familiar English feels, the less your mind needs to translate. There is also a real sleep learning reason behind this. Sleep is not just a blank time when nothing happens. Your brain is still active in a quiet and powerful way. During sleep, the brain helps organize and strengthen memories from the day. This is often called memory consolidation. It means the brain takes things you practiced, heard, repeated, or felt, and then slowly connects them more strongly inside your memory. This does not mean you can play a difficult English lesson while sleeping and wake up fluent. That is not realistic. But it does mean that what you calmly practice before sleep can become easier for the brain to keep. So tonight, we are not trying to force a whole language into your sleeping mind. We are doing something smarter. We are giving your brain simple, meaningful English before sleep. So when you rest, your brain has something gentle and useful to hold. This is why relaxation is not laziness. Relaxation is preparation. A calm mind listens better. A calm mind notices patterns better. A calm mind can repeat without shame. A calm mind can hear one sentence many times and slowly feel the meaning. When you are tense, your brain becomes narrow. It only thinks about mistakes, speed, grammar, and fear. But when you relax, your brain becomes wider. It can hear the rhythm of English. It can notice the feeling of a sentence. It can understand from context. It can allow English to enter without checking every word. This is the place where translation begins to become weaker. Not because you attack it, but because your brain no longer needs it so much. English learning psychology also teaches us something very important. Learners improve faster when the language is understandable and not too stressful. If the English is too difficult, your brain panics and translates more. If the English is too fast, your brain becomes tired and translates more. If the English feels like a test, your brain becomes defensive and translates more. But if the English is simple, clear, repeated, and connected to your life, your brain begins to understand directly. This is why bedtime English should be soft and familiar. It should use words you already know. It should use sentences that feel close to your real life. It should not throw heavy vocabulary at you when your eyes are ready to close. Tonight, we are not proving how much English you know. We are training your mind to feel English as a natural sound. So as you listen now, let your body become part of the lesson. Let your shoulders become a little softer. Let your breathing slow down. Let your face relax. You do not need to answer anything. You do not need to write anything. You do not need to open a notebook. Just listen and let the meaning come. If you understand a sentence, good. If you do not understand every word, that is also okay. Your job tonight is not to catch every word like a student in an exam. Your job is to let English become peaceful in your mind. This is a very different feeling. And for many learners, this is the missing piece. They studied English for years, but they never felt relaxed with English. They always felt watched, judged, tested, or corrected. Tonight, we change that feeling. Maybe you are listening after a long day. Maybe you worked hard. Maybe you studied. Maybe you were busy with family, school, business, or problems. Maybe you feel guilty because you did not practice English enough today. If that is true, I want you to release that guilt. Guilt does not teach English. Shame does not build fluency. Fear does not create confidence. A small, calm practice repeated every night can do more for your confidence than one stressful lesson done with pressure. Even if you only listen for 10 minutes, even if you only remember one sentence, even if you only feel one English thought before sleep, that is still progress. Your mind is learning to welcome English without fear. And when English becomes welcome, translation starts losing its power. Now think about this simple idea. During the day, English may feel like work, but at night, English can feel like a quiet friend. During the day, you may feel that you must speak perfectly, but at night, you can simply listen. During the day, you may compare yourself with other learners, but at night, there is no comparison. There is only you, your mind, your breath, and simple English. This is why night practice is special. It gives your brain a private place to grow. No one is laughing. No one is judging. No one is waiting for your answer. You can repeat slowly. You can think slowly. You can make mistakes silently. You can begin again tomorrow. To relax the English mind, you must also stop trying to translate every sentence perfectly. Sometimes understanding the feeling is enough. For example, if you hear, "I am safe in my room," you do not need to break the sentence into pieces. You do not need to translate each word. Just feel the meaning. You are in your room. You are safe. The room is quiet. The night is soft. English is speaking to you gently. This is direct understanding. This is what we are building. Slowly, sentence by sentence, your mind starts trusting English. It starts saying, maybe I do not need to translate everything. Maybe I can understand this directly. This step is important because the mind cannot think in English if it is fighting English. The mind cannot stop translating if it is scared of English. The mind cannot sleep with English if English feels like stress. So tonight, we are creating a new relationship. English is not your enemy. English is not a punishment. English is not something that proves you are weak. English is a tool. English is a sound. English is a path. English is a new room inside your mind. And before sleep, we open that room slowly, calmly, and confidently. So remember this before we move forward. Relaxation is not separate from English learning. Relaxation is part of English learning. When your body becomes calm, your listening becomes calm. When your listening becomes calm, your understanding becomes calm. When your understanding becomes calm, your mind does not rush to translate every word. This is how the change begins. In the next step, we will make this even more practical. We will learn how to see meaning directly. So when you hear an English word, your mind does not run back to your first language. It goes straight to the picture, the action, the object, and the feeling. Stay with me, because this next step is where English starts becoming real inside your mind. Step 3. See meaning directly. Now we come to one of the most important steps in this whole night practice. If you want to stop translating in your mind, you must learn to see meaning directly. This is where English begins to move from your textbook into your real life. Many learners hear an English word and immediately ask, "What is this in my language?" That question feels helpful in the beginning, but after some time, it becomes a wall. It keeps English away from your real understanding. So tonight, we will practice a different way. When you hear an English word, do not run to translation first. Run to the picture. Run to the object. Run to the action. Run to the feeling. If you hear the word bed, do not search for the meaning in your language. Look at your bed. Feel your body lying on it. Notice the softness. Notice the quiet. If you hear the word pillow, do not translate it. Feel the pillow under your head. If you hear, "I am tired," do not change it into another language. Feel your tired eyes. Feel your relaxed body. Feel the meaning directly. This is how English becomes real inside your mind. This method is powerful because your brain naturally understands the world through pictures, actions, feelings, and experiences. Before you learned any language as a child, you understood many things through life. You saw water before you could explain water. You felt hunger before you could describe hunger. You knew your mother's face before you had grammar. Meaning came first. Words came later. This is why direct meaning is so important for English fluency. When you connect English words only to translated words, English stays like a code. But when you connect English words to real things, real actions, and real feelings, English becomes alive. It stops being a puzzle. It starts becoming a natural part of your thinking. This is the direct association method. It means the English word connects straight to the thing it represents. Door connects to the door. Light connects to the light. Sleep connects to closing your eyes and resting. I feel calm connects to the calm feeling inside your body. This simple change can slowly break the translation habit. Tonight, your bedroom becomes your English classroom, but not a stressful classroom. It becomes a peaceful English room. You do not need a whiteboard. You do not need a grammar book. You do not need a test. You only need your eyes, your mind, your room, and a few simple English words. Look around softly. Maybe you can see your bed, Maybe you can see your blanket. Maybe there is a pillow near your head. Maybe your phone is beside you. Maybe the wall is in front of you. Maybe the window is closed. Maybe the door is quiet. Now name these things in English, but do it slowly. Bed, pillow, blanket, wall, window, door, phone, light, room. Do not translate them. Let your eyes touch the object and let the English words sit on that object. When you say blanket, feel the blanket. When you say room, feel the room around you. When you say light, imagine the light becoming soft or turning off. This is not childish. This is intelligent. This is how you teach your brain to stop using translation as the middleman. After that, we move from single words to simple sentences. This is where your mind becomes stronger. Say in your mind, "This is my bed." Do not translate it, just see the bed. Say, "My pillow is soft." Feel the pillow. Say, "The room is quiet." Listen to the quiet. Say, "The light is off." Notice the darkness or the soft light. Say, "I am in my room." Feel yourself inside the room. Say, "I am safe." Feel safety in your body. Say, "I am calm." Let your breathing become slow. These sentences are small, but they are not weak. They are direct English thoughts. They are the first signs that your mind can use English without running back to another language. And this is exactly what we want before sleep. We want English to become simple, close, and familiar. The beauty of this practice is that it removes fear. Many learners think they need advanced vocabulary before they can think in English. They think, "I cannot think in English because I do not know many words." But that is not true. You can begin thinking in English with the words you already know. Your room is full of English practice. Your body is full of English practice. Your feelings are full of English practice. Your night is full of English practice. You can say, "I am tired." You can say, "I want rest." You can say, "My eyes are closing." You can say, "Tomorrow is a new day." You can say, "I will try again." These are not difficult sentences, but they create real English inside your mind. And real English is better than difficult English that you only memorize and never use. This step also helps your listening. When you learn to connect English with meaning directly, your ears become faster. Imagine someone says, "Open the door." If your mind first translates every word, you lose time. But if your mind sees the action directly, you understand faster. Door, open, action, meaning. No long thinking. No heavy translation. This is how fluent speakers understand. They do not translate every word. They feel the message. They see the idea. They understand the situation. You can train this ability slowly, especially before sleep, because your environment is calm and simple. There are fewer distractions. There is less pressure. Your brain can focus on meaning without noise. Now let us go deeper into the sleep learning angle. Before sleep, your mind does not need many new words. It needs meaningful words. A meaningful word is a word connected to your life right now. The word pillow is meaningful when your head is on a pillow. The word sleep is meaningful when your body wants sleep. The sentence, "I feel calm," is meaningful when you are trying to relax. This kind of English has a stronger chance to stay in your memory because it is connected to your real moment. Your brain is not just hearing random language. It is hearing English that matches your body, your room, your feeling, and your night. This makes the practice natural. It also makes the practice peaceful. You are not forcing your brain to learn English from far away. You are showing your brain that English is already here, in your room, in your body, in your thoughts, and in your life. Many viewers need this message deeply because they feel English is always outside them. They feel English belongs to teachers, native speakers, videos, books, and exams. But tonight, I want you to feel something different. English can belong to you too. English can describe your bed. English can describe your room. English can describe your tiredness. English can describe your hopes. English can sit quietly with you before sleep. The moment you use English for your own life, English becomes personal. And when English becomes personal, translation becomes less necessary. Your mind begins to say, I know this. I can feel this. I do not need to check every word. So tonight, try this very simple practice. Look at one object near you and name it in English. Then make one sentence with it. If you see your phone, say, "This is my phone." If you see your blanket, say, "My blanket is warm." If you see the window, say, "The window is closed." If you feel tired, say, "I am tired." If you feel peaceful, say, "I feel peaceful." Do not worry about making many sentences. Do not worry about sounding perfect. Just give your brain direct English. Let the word meet the thing. Let the sentence meet the feeling. Let English touch reality. This is the first real doorway out of translation. Not memorizing more, not rushing more, not blaming yourself more. The doorway is direct meaning. When you hear English, see something, feel something, imagine something. Connect English with life. And when you do this every night, even for a few minutes, your mind slowly becomes faster and calmer. It starts trusting English. It starts understanding without panic. It starts using English as a living language, not only as a school subject. In the next step, we will take this direct meaning and turn it into tiny night sentences. You will learn how to build small English thoughts before sleep, so your mind can stop translating and start thinking in English gently, naturally, and confidently. Step 4. Build tiny night sentences. There is a quiet moment before sleep when your mind becomes more honest than it is during the day. The room is calm. The noise becomes lower. Your body wants rest. And in that soft moment, your mind does not need big English. It needs small English that feels true. This is where many learners make a mistake. They think, if I want to think in English, I must think in long sentences. I must use perfect grammar. I must sound like an advanced speaker inside my head. But that pressure makes the mind tired. And when the mind becomes tired, it runs back to translation. So tonight, we will do the opposite. We will not build heavy sentences. We will build tiny night sentences, small sentences, clear sentences, real sentences. Sentences your mind can understand without fear. This is one of the most powerful ways to stop translating, because your brain does not panic when the English is simple enough to feel. A tiny night sentence is not a weak sentence. It is a seed. A seed looks small, but it carries a whole tree inside it. In the same way, a small English sentence carries the beginning of fluency inside it. When you say, "I am tired," you are not just saying 3 words. You are training your brain to connect English with your real body. When you say, "I feel calm," you are not only practicing grammar, you are teaching your mind to feel English without translating. When you say, "Tomorrow I will try again," you are building confidence, future thinking, and English identity at the same time. This is why tiny sentences are so important. They do not overload your mind. They do not make you stop and check every word. They help English move smoothly through your thoughts. The key idea of this step is very simple. If a sentence is too difficult, your mind will translate it. If a sentence is small, personal, and clear, your mind can understand it directly. This is connected to the mental load we talked about before. Your brain can only hold a limited amount of information at one time. If you give it too many words, too much grammar, and too much pressure, it will look for help. That help is often translation. But if you give it short, meaningful sentence patterns, it can stay in English longer. This is how thinking in English begins. You do not begin by thinking like a professor. You begin by thinking like a calm learner who knows how to use simple words with real meaning. For this step, the most useful English skill is automatic sentence patterns. These are sentence shapes that your brain can use again and again until they become natural. You do not need to create a completely new sentence every time. You can use patterns. For example, "I am tired" is a pattern. You can say, "I am tired. I am calm. I am ready to sleep. I am learning English." Another pattern is, "I feel something fast." You can say, "I feel peaceful. I feel relaxed. I feel sleepy. I feel proud of myself." Another pattern is, you can say, "I can learn slowly. I can think in English. I can understand simple words. I can try again tomorrow." These patterns are simple, but they are powerful because they reduce fear. Your brain does not need to build everything from zero. It only needs to complete the pattern. Before sleep, these patterns become even more useful because your mind wants rhythm. It wants softness. It wants repetition. A bedtime English practice should not jump around too much. It should guide the listener like a gentle road. You can start with your body. "I am tired. I feel calm. My eyes are heavy. My body needs rest." Then you can move to your room. "I am in my room. My room is quiet. My bed is warm. My pillow is soft." Then you can move to your learning. "I am learning English. I can learn slowly. I do not need perfect English. My English is growing." Then you can move to tomorrow. "Tomorrow I will wake up. Tomorrow I will speak one sentence. Tomorrow I will try again." This simple movement creates a peaceful flow. It takes the viewer from body to room, from room to confidence, and from confidence to tomorrow. This is also where your viewer starts feeling success. Many English learners are tired of failing. They open a grammar book and feel lost. They watch a fast video and feel behind. They try to speak and their mind becomes blank. But when they hear a sentence like "I am calm," they can understand it. When they repeat "I can learn slowly," they can feel it. When they think "I will try again tomorrow," they can believe it. This matters deeply. Confidence does not always come from big achievements. Sometimes confidence comes from one small sentence that your mind can finally use without translation. That small victory tells the brain, I can do this. And when the brain feels that, it becomes more willing to continue. Now let us make this very practical. Tonight, when you are lying in bed, do not ask your mind to think about your whole life in English. That is too much. Ask your mind to think one tiny sentence. Only one. Say, I am here. Feel yourself in the room. Then say, I am tired. Feel your tired body. Then say, I feel calm. Let your breath become softer. Then say, I can learn. Do not translate it. Just let the meaning rest inside you. After that, add one more sentence if you can. My English is growing. This is enough. If you can think 5 simple English sentences before sleep, you are already training your mind in a new way. You are already giving English a place inside your night. The sleep learning angle is important here. Before sleep, your mind does not need heavy information. It needs gentle review and meaningful repetition. Tiny sentences are perfect for this because they are easy to hear, easy to repeat, and easy to remember. They do not disturb the sleep mood, they support it. A sentence like, my mind is calm, is both English practice and sleep preparation. A sentence like, I am safe in my room, is both vocabulary practice and emotional comfort. A sentence like, tomorrow I will try again, is both future tense practice and motivation. This is the beauty of bedtime English. One sentence can teach language and relax the heart at the same time. You can also use tiny night sentences to slowly replace translation. For example, maybe your normal habit is to think in your first language, I am tired. I should sleep now. Tonight, try to catch that thought softly and give it an English shape. Say, I am tired. I want to sleep. Maybe your mind thinks, tomorrow I have many things to do. Give it a simple English shape. Say, tomorrow will be busy. I will do my best. Maybe your mind thinks, my English is not good. Give it a kinder English shape. Say, my English is growing slowly. This is not only language practice, this is mental rewriting. You are changing the way your mind talks to itself. And when your inner voice begins to use English, your speaking becomes easier later. Another important thing is that tiny sentences should be personal. Do not only repeat random sentences that have no connection to your life. Use sentences that belong to your night, your room, your feelings, and your dreams. If you are worried, say, I feel worried, but I am safe. If you are tired, say, I am tired and I can rest now. If you are proud, say, I practiced English today. If you made mistakes, say, mistakes help me learn. If you feel slow, say, slow English is still English. These sentences are simple, but they touch real emotions. And when English touches real emotion, it becomes easier to remember. Do not worry if your sentences are basic. Basic English is not bad English. Basic English is the foundation of strong English. A beautiful house needs a strong foundation. Your fluency also needs a strong foundation. Many learners chase big words, but they cannot say simple sentences naturally. They know difficult vocabulary, but they freeze when they need to say, I feel tired, I need help, or I will call you tomorrow. Real fluency grows from sentences you can use quickly and comfortably. So tonight, respect small English. Respect simple English. Respect the sentence that your mind can understand without fear. As you continue this practice, your brain will begin to collect these tiny sentences like peaceful stones on a path. At first, you may only have 5, then 10, then 20. Then one day, you will notice that your mind can make a small English thought without translating first. It may happen quietly. You may wake up and think, I need water. You may sit alone and think, today is busy. You may make a mistake and think, it is okay. That is progress. That is the translation habit becoming weaker. That is English becoming more natural inside you. So tonight, do not try to think in perfect English. Think in tiny English. Do not try to impress anyone. Build your inner English voice softly. Say the sentences slowly. Feel them. Let them become familiar. Let your brain learn that English can be simple, safe, and close. In the next step, we will make these tiny sentences even stronger by adding feeling. Because when English becomes emotional, it becomes deeper. When a sentence touches your heart, your mind remembers it more easily. And when you feel English instead of translating English, you move one more step toward real fluency. Step 5. Feel English softly. There is a deeper level of English learning that many learners do not notice in the beginning. They learn words, they learn grammar, they repeat sentences, they watch videos, they try to speak, but still English feels far away from their heart. It feels like something outside them. It feels like a subject. It feels like a test. It feels like a language they are trying to control, not a language they are learning to feel. This is why this step is so important. If you want to stop translating in your mind, you must stop treating English like a cold code. You must begin to feel English softly. When English becomes connected to your emotions, your body, your memories, your hopes, and your daily life, your mind does not need to translate every word so much. It begins to understand from inside. It begins to feel the meaning. And when you feel the meaning, English becomes closer, warmer, and more natural. Many learners translate because English has no emotional connection for them yet. They see an English sentence and their mind says, what does this mean in my language? But when you feel the sentence, the meaning becomes direct. For example, if you say, I am tired, do not only think about the grammar. Do not only think about the word tired. Feel your heavy eyes. Feel your relaxed shoulders. Feel your body lying on the bed. That feeling is the meaning. If you say, I am calm, do not translate the word calm. Take a slow breath. Let your face relax. Let your mind become softer. That feeling is the meaning. If you say, I can learn slowly, do not turn it into another language. Feel hope. Feel patience. Feel a small light inside you. That feeling is the meaning. This is how English becomes real, not only through the brain, but through the whole person. The key teaching idea of this step is simple but powerful. Do not only understand English, experience English. A word becomes stronger when it touches a real feeling. A sentence becomes easier to remember when it belongs to your life. This is why emotional English is so useful before sleep. At night, the heart is often more open. The day is almost finished. The noise is lower. The mind is not trying to perform. The viewer is not standing in front of people. They are safe in their own space. This is the perfect time to use English sentences that are soft, personal, and meaningful. We are not using English to impress anyone. We are using English to comfort the mind, train the brain, and slowly build the habit of direct understanding. English learning psychology supports this idea in a very practical way. The brain remembers things better when they are meaningful and personal. Random sentences are easy to forget because they have no emotional root. But sentences connected to your real feelings can stay longer. For example, the sentence, "The cat is under the table," may be useful for grammar, but before sleep, it may not touch your life. The sentence, "I am safe in my room," touches your body and your heart right now. The sentence, "I do not need to be perfect tonight," touches the fear many learners carry. The sentence, "My English is growing slowly," touches hope. These sentences are not only language practice, they are emotional memory practice. They teach English, but they also heal the pressure around English. This matters because many English learners do not only have a language problem, they also have an emotional problem with English. They feel ashamed when they make mistakes. They feel nervous before speaking. They compare themselves with others. They think, "Why am I still not fluent?" They feel that every English mistake proves something bad about them. So when they try to speak, their body becomes tense, their mind becomes fast, their heart becomes afraid. Then translation becomes stronger because the brain wants control. But when you use emotional English softly before sleep, you begin to change your relationship with English. You tell your mind, "English is not here to judge me. English is here to help me express myself." That one shift can change everything. So tonight, your English practice should not sound like a machine. It should sound like a real person speaking to their own heart. Say, "I am not afraid of English." But do not say it quickly. Let it come slowly. Feel the fear becoming smaller. Say, "I can learn slowly." Feel permission. Feel patience. Say, "My mind is becoming calm." Feel your breathing. Feel your body resting. Say, "English is coming closer to me." Imagine English not as a mountain you must climb tonight, but as a quiet friend sitting near you. Say, "I do not need to be perfect tonight." Let that sentence remove pressure. Say, "I can understand simple English." Feel confidence. Say, "I can think one sentence in English." Feel the small victory. Say, "Tomorrow I will try again." Feel a new beginning waiting for you. These emotional sentences are powerful because they do two things at the same time. They teach English and they teach belief. They train sentence patterns and they train confidence. They help your mind practice meaning and they help your heart feel safe. This is why sleep-friendly English should not be dry. It should be meaningful. It should use soft repetition. It should move slowly enough for the listener to feel the sentence before the next one comes. If the sentence comes too fast, the mind starts chasing. If the mind starts chasing, translation returns. But when the sentence comes calmly, the listener can receive it, feel it, and let it rest inside the mind. Now, let us connect this with the sleep learning angle. Before sleep, your brain does not need a storm of new words. It needs a calm, emotional signal. It needs simple English that does not disturb sleep, but prepares the mind for rest. A sentence like "I am peaceful now" helps the body relax and also gives the mind an English thought. A sentence like "I forgive my mistakes" helps reduce the emotional pressure that blocks speaking. A sentence like "I am learning little by little" gives the brain a growth message. During the day, the soil of the mind can be hard because of stress, noise, work, responsibilities, and fear. But before sleep, the soil becomes softer. If you plant a simple emotional sentence there, it can go deeper. You are not forcing it. You are placing it gently. "I can learn," "I am calm," English is becoming part of me. These are small seeds, but if you repeat them night after night, they can grow into a new inner voice. And once your inner voice begins to use English, speaking English becomes less strange. You are no longer trying to pull English from outside. You are bringing it from inside. This is also important for stopping translation, because translation is often a distance problem. English feels distant, so the mind needs the first language to bring meaning closer. But emotion removes distance. If you feel the sentence, it is already close. You do not need to travel through translation. For example, when you say, "I miss my family," and you truly feel it, you do not need to translate every word. The feeling carries the meaning. When you say, "I want a better life," and you feel your dream, the sentence becomes personal. When you say, "I am proud because I practiced today," and you feel pride, English is no longer just a lesson, it becomes your voice. So tonight, choose emotional sentences that match your real life. If you feel tired, say, "I am tired, and I can rest now." If you feel worried, say, "I feel worried, but I am safe." If you feel disappointed, say, "I made mistakes, but I am still learning." If you feel hopeful, say, "My English will become better." If you feel alone, say, "I am not alone in this journey." If you feel slow, say, "Slow progress is still progress." These sentences are simple, but they are alive. Now repeat this idea in your mind. Do not translate English. Feel English. When you hear calm, feel calm. When you hear tired, feel tired. When you hear hope, feel hope. When you hear "I can try again," feel a new chance. This is the soft bridge between English learning and sleep learning. You are not only filling the brain with information, you are creating emotional familiarity. And emotional familiarity makes English less scary. It makes English easier to welcome. It makes the mind less hungry for translation. As we finish this step, remember that feeling English does not mean you understand everything perfectly. It means you allow simple English to touch something real inside you. A fluent mind is not built only by rules. It is built by repeated experiences of meaning. Tonight, one emotional sentence can be enough. I am learning slowly. Let it be enough. I do not need perfect English. Let it be enough. English is coming closer to me. Let it be enough. In the next step, we will take everything we have learned and turn it into a complete bedtime routine. You will know exactly what to do before sleep, step by step, so your mind can stop translating, start feeling English, and rest with confidence. Step 6. Follow the bedtime routine. By this point, your mind has already learned something very important. You have learned that translation is a habit. You have learned that English becomes easier when the mind is calm. You have learned to connect English with real meaning, not only with words from your first language. You have learned to build tiny night sentences. You have learned to feel English softly. Now we need to bring all of this together in one simple bedtime routine. This is the step that turns the lesson into a real habit. Because a beautiful idea can inspire you for one night, but a simple routine can change you slowly, deeply, and permanently. If you want to stop translating in your mind, you do not need a complicated system. You need a calm system that you can repeat every night, even when you are tired, even when your day was busy, even when you do not feel perfect. The key idea of this step is very practical. A short routine repeated every night is stronger than one long lesson done with pressure. Many learners fail because they make English too heavy. They say, "Tonight I will study for 2 hours." Then they feel tired. They miss one night. Then they feel guilty. Then they stop. But sleep-friendly English must be different. It must be light enough to repeat. It must be simple enough to do in bed. It must be calm enough to protect sleep. It must be meaningful enough to train the brain. That is why this bedtime routine should not feel like a school task. It should feel like brushing your mind with English before sleep. Just as you brush your teeth before bed, you can also brush your thoughts with simple English. Not to become perfect tonight, not to impress anyone, only to give your brain one peaceful English road before it rests. The routine can begin with the body, because the body is the door to the mind. Before you think in English, relax your body. Let your shoulders drop. Let your face become soft. Let your breathing slow down. You do not need to force deep breathing like a hard exercise. Just breathe a little slower than before. Then say one simple sentence in your mind. I am here. Feel yourself in the room. Then say, I am safe. Let that sentence become a feeling, not a translation. Then say, I am ready to learn softly. This first part is important because a tense brain translates more. A calm brain receives more. When the body relaxes, the mind becomes less defensive. English starts feeling less like work and more like a peaceful sound. After the body becomes calm, move to the room around you. This is the second part of the routine. Look at one object near you and name it in English. Bed, pillow, blanket, wall, window, door, light, phone. Do not translate these words. Let your eyes connect the word to the object. If your eyes are closed, imagine the object. Then make one small sentence with it. This is my bed. My pillow is soft. The room is quiet. The light is off. My blanket is warm. These sentences are simple, but they train direct understanding. Your brain learns that English does not always need a middle step. The word can meet the thing directly. The sentence can meet the real moment directly. This is how the translation habit becomes weaker, not through force, but through direct connection. The third part of the routine is tiny sentence thinking. This is where you begin to speak inside your mind in English. Keep it very easy. Use patterns your brain can trust. These patterns are like soft paths. Your mind can walk on them without fear. You can say, I am tired. I feel calm. I can learn slowly. I want to rest. I will try again tomorrow. Do not rush. Do not test yourself. Do not ask, is my English perfect? The purpose is not perfection. The purpose is presence. You are present with English. You are letting English describe your real moment. And when English describes your real moment, it becomes alive. The fourth part is emotional repetition. This is where English touches your confidence. Choose a few sentences that make your heart softer and stronger at the same time. Say, I do not need to translate every word. Say, I can understand simple English. Say, my mind is learning a new way. Say, mistakes do not stop me. Say, English is coming closer to me. These sentences should not be repeated like a machine. They should be felt. Let each sentence land in your mind. Let it rest there for a moment. This is the kind of English that can stay with a learner because it carries emotion. It is not random, it is personal. It speaks to the fear that many learners hide. It says, you are not failing, you are training. The fifth part of the bedtime routine is tomorrow thinking. This is very powerful because it trains future English in a calm way. Many learners only use English for lessons, but real fluency grows when English enters daily planning. Before sleep, think about tomorrow in very simple sentences. Tomorrow, I will wake up. I will drink water. I will start my day. I will speak one English sentence. I will listen for 5 minutes. I will not be afraid. This prepares the mind for action without creating stress. It also creates continuity. Your English does not end when the video ends. It continues tomorrow morning. This makes the viewer feel that English is becoming part of life, not only part of YouTube. The sixth part is quiet listening. After you have relaxed, named objects, built tiny sentences, repeated emotional sentences, and imagined tomorrow, let yourself simply listen. At this point, you do not need to repeat everything. You do not need to catch every word. You can allow the voice, the rhythm, and the meaning to pass through your mind softly. This is where the sleep learning style becomes strongest. The listener is still learning, but they are not fighting. They are receiving. They are resting with English. They are letting simple English become familiar. This is very different from passive noise. The mind has already been prepared. It has already met the words. It has already felt the sentences. Now sleep can come naturally. The science behind this routine is realistic and trustworthy. Sleep does not replace practice. Sleep supports practice. Your brain cannot magically learn everything while sleeping, but sleep can help organize and strengthen what you calmly practice before sleeping. That is why this routine focuses on simple review, personal meaning, and emotional repetition. These are things the brain can hold. If you try to learn difficult grammar when you are half asleep, your mind may become stressed or confused. But if you repeat meaningful sentences like, I am calm, I can learn slowly, and tomorrow I will try again, you give your brain clear language with emotional value. That is much better for this kind of night practice. This routine also works because it reduces decision fatigue. Many learners lose energy because they do not know what to do. They open YouTube, they search, they change videos, they start one lesson, stop, and feel confused. But a fixed bedtime routine removes the question. You know what to do. First, relax. Then name objects. Then make tiny sentences. Then feel emotional English. Then imagine tomorrow. Then listen quietly. This gives the mind safety. And when the mind feels safe, it can repeat the habit more easily. Repetition is one of the strongest forces in language learning. Not perfect repetition, human repetition, calm repetition, the kind of repetition that fits real life. If you do this again and again, your brain will start recognizing the pattern. It will begin to expect English before sleep. It will stop treating English like a stranger. It will hear the sentence, "I am calm," and feel calm faster. It will hear, "I can learn slowly," and believe it more easily. It will hear, "I do not need to translate everything," and understand the message directly. This is how a small night habit becomes a quiet transformation. In the next and final step, we will take this routine and turn it into confidence, because the purpose of English before sleep is not only to learn words, it is to become the kind of person who can live with English calmly. It is to sleep with English in your mind and wake up with more trust in yourself. Stay with me for the final step, because this is where the whole journey becomes a promise you can carry into tomorrow. Step 7. Sleep with English confidence. Now we have reached the final step of tonight's journey. And this step is not only about learning English, it is about changing the feeling you carry inside your mind when English comes near you. At the beginning, we talked about your translation habit. We understood that your brain translates because it wants safety. Then we relaxed the English mind, because a tense mind translates more, and a calm mind receives more. After that, we learned to see meaning directly through objects, actions, pictures, and feelings. Then we built tiny night sentences, because small English is the beginning of natural English. Then we learned to feel English softly, because emotional English stays deeper than cold English. Then we created a bedtime routine, so this lesson does not remain only a beautiful idea, but becomes something you can repeat every night. Now, in this final step, we bring everything together and turn it into confidence. Because the real goal is not only to sleep while hearing English, the real goal is to sleep with English feeling safe, close, and possible inside your mind. Many learners think confidence comes after fluency. They believe, first I must become fluent, then I will feel confident. But in real life, confidence and fluency grow together. You do not wait for perfect English before you feel confident. You build small confidence while your English is still growing. You feel proud when you understand one sentence without translating. You feel stronger when you can say, "I am tired," and feel the meaning directly. You feel lighter when you repeat, "I do not need to be perfect tonight," and your mind stops attacking you. These small moments matter. They are not small in your brain, they are signals. They tell your mind, English is not danger. English is not shame. English is something I can hold. When your brain receives this message again and again, it slowly changes your relationship with English. This is the English learning philosophy behind this whole video. Fluency is not only speed, fluency is comfort. Fluency is not only knowing many words, fluency is being able to stay with English without panic. Fluency is when your mind does not run away every time it hears a sentence. Fluency is when English starts becoming a place inside you, not just a subject outside you. At first, that place is very small. Maybe it is only one sentence, "I am calm." Then it becomes two sentences, "I am calm,"
I can learn slowly. Then it becomes a little room. I am in my room. My body is tired. My mind is peaceful. Tomorrow I will try again. Slowly, English gets a home inside your thoughts. And when English has a home inside your thoughts, translation is no longer the only road. Tonight, I want you to understand this deeply. Stopping translation does not mean your first language disappears. Your first language is not your enemy. It is part of you. It carries your memories, your family, your childhood, your emotions, and your life. We are not pushing it away. We are simply giving English its own space. Right? We are teaching the mind that English can carry meaning directly to. When you hear bed, you can see the bed. When you hear I am tired, you can feel tired. When you hear I will try again tomorrow, you can feel hope. This is direct English. This is the kind of English that grows slowly at night when the world is quiet and your mind is ready to receive without fighting. The sleep learning angle is also important here. We are not saying that sleep alone will make you fluent. That would not be honest. Real English needs practice, listening, speaking, repetition, and use. But sleep can support what you practice. Before sleep, your mind is in a special place. It is leaving the noise of the day. It is preparing to rest. If you give it simple, meaningful English before sleep, you are giving your brain something calm to hold. You are giving it soft repetition. You are giving it emotional sentences. You are giving it direct meaning. Then, as you sleep, your brain can continue its natural work of organizing and strengthening memories. This is why bedtime English should be simple, emotional, and familiar. It should not be a difficult grammar exam. It should be a peaceful review. It should be a soft voice that says, "You are learning. You are safe. You can rest now." So tonight, when this lesson ends, do not judge your progress harshly. Do not ask, "Did I become fluent tonight?" Ask a better question. Ask, "Did I give my mind one peaceful English thought?" If the answer is yes, then you practiced. If you understood one sentence without translating, you practiced. If you felt one English sentence inside your body, you practiced. If you repeated one tiny sentence before sleep, you practiced. If you listened calmly and stopped fighting English for a few minutes, you practiced. This is the kind of practice many learners ignore because it looks too small. But small practice repeated with trust becomes powerful. A few calm sentences every night can build a new path in the mind. A new path becomes easier to walk. And one day, you will notice that English comes a little faster. You will notice that you understand a sentence before translating it. You will notice that your fear is not as strong as before. This final step is also about identity. Do not only say, "I am learning English." Start feeling, "I am becoming someone who can live with English." That is a different feeling. A person who lives with English does not only study English for 1 hour and then forget it. They bring English into small moments. They think simple English before sleep. They name things in the room. They speak to themselves softly. They listen calmly. They forgive mistakes. They repeat. They come back tomorrow. This is the real identity of a learner who grows. Not perfect, not fast every day, not always confident, but consistent, honest, patient, alive, willing to begin again. Maybe tonight your mind still translated many times. That is okay. Translation is an old habit, and old habits do not disappear because we watched one lesson. They change because we create a new habit again and again. When your mind translates, do not become angry. Smile softly inside and return to meaning. If you hear pillow and your mind translates it, gently bring your attention back to the pillow. If you say, I am calm, and your mind translates it, gently feel calmness in your breath. If you think, tomorrow I will try again, and your mind translates it, gently imagine tomorrow morning. This is how you train, not with punishment, with return. Every return is practice.
Now let us wrap up the whole method in a calm and clear way. First, calm your translation habit by understanding that your brain wants safety. Second, relax the English mind, because stress makes English heavy, and calmness makes English easier. Third, see meaning directly by connecting English words with objects, pictures, actions, and feelings. Fourth, build tiny night sentences, because small English thoughts help your brain stay in English without pressure. Fifth, feel English softly, because emotional sentences become more memorable and more personal. Sixth, follow the bedtime routine, because repeated practice gives your mind a peaceful road. And now, seventh, sleep with English confidence, because the final goal is to let English rest inside you, without fear. As your eyes become heavier and your body becomes softer, let these closing sentences move through your mind slowly. Do not translate them. Just feel them. I can rest now. Feel rest. My mind is calm. Feel calm. English is with me. Feel English as something close. I am learning slowly. Feel patience. I do not need to translate everything. Feel freedom. I can feel the meaning. Feel trust. I can sleep peacefully. Feel peace. Tomorrow, I will begin again. Feel hope. These are not just sentences. They are small messages to your brain. They are reminders that English can be gentle. English can be personal. English can become part of your night. And if you want to make this lesson even more powerful, listen to it again tomorrow night. Repetition is not boring when it is building your future. The first night, you may only hear the words. The second night, you may feel more meaning. The third night, one sentence may stay in your mind. After some days, you may start thinking a few of these sentences by yourself. This is how sleep-friendly English practice works best. Not one magical night, not one perfect lesson. A quiet return, a peaceful routine, a simple sentence, repeated until the mind believes it. Before you sleep tonight, choose one sentence from this lesson and let it stay with you. Maybe your sentence is, I am calm. Maybe it is, I can learn slowly. Maybe it is, I do not need to translate everything. Maybe it is, English is coming closer to me. Choose one sentence and hold it softly. Do not force it. Do not repeat it like work. Let it become the last English thought of your night. And when you wake up tomorrow, do not ask for perfection. Ask for one small action, one sentence, one listening moment, one brave try. That is how confidence grows. That is how translation becomes weaker. That is how English becomes yours. If this lesson helped you feel calmer with English, subscribe to Unleash Your English and come back tomorrow night. We will keep building your English mind together, one peaceful sentence at a time. Like this video if it gave you hope, and write in the comments. I will stop translating slowly. Your comment is not only for me, it is a promise to yourself. Now let your body rest. Let your mind become quiet. Let English stay softly beside you. Thanks for watching this video, and I will see you in the next lesson. Sleep well and let English rest peacefully in your mind.
Tonight you learned that you do not need to translate every English word to understand English. You can calm your mind. You can see meaning directly. You can build small English sentences. You can feel English softly. And you can follow a simple bedtime routine every night. Do not expect perfection in one day. Just give your mind one peaceful English thought before sleep, and repeat this practice again tomorrow. If this lesson helped you feel calm and confident, subscribe to Unleash Your English and come back for the next lesson. Now close your eyes, relax your mind, and let English rest softly inside you. Thanks for this video, and sleep well.